Welcome back to WALEX. Thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. On Monday at noon, we've got the Housewives of Atlanta. Now, we've got Married to Miserable. And at 8 p.m. tonight, we've got Hot Topics. Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we've got Love and Hip Hop Miami. At 12 p.m., we've got the Housewives of Miami, last season refresher before the new season begins. And at 1 p.m., we've got Grosse Pointe Garden, or whatever the hell that show's called. On Wednesday at 11 a.m., we're starting our day off with a recap of the Housewives of Beverly Hills, followed by the Loveless and the Hip Hopless in Atlanta. At 1 p.m., we're coming out with some hot topics. On Thursday at 11 a.m., our Scandal and our How to Get Away with Murder recap. Followed by Saturday with Noon Pop Roast. And Sunday we have our 11 a.m. Open Forum. And at 3 p.m., our Bravo predictions. I'll see you soon for something. Hello, and today we have the hilarious Tyreak Told You. He is taking over TikTok, Instagram. Are you on YouTube?
I am.
And he's here too. I had a chance to meet this rising star a few years ago back in New York. I hear this deep Brooklyn voice say, "Excuse me, Alex," and I turn around, and there you are.
Well, it was nice meeting you. Oh. I've been very well. It's been an exciting journey. You were a huge inspiration. I'm super excited to be here with you. I had to get a nice background because I'm here with Alex. So, but no, I can't wait to get into some things with you and just chat a little bit.
Yeah, let's start it off with the morning mess, just with the mess. And her imploding. Now, it's just so funny because last year, around this time, we had the implosion of TGIF. And now it seems like the Breakfast Club has caught a case of TGIF with backbiting, replacement host, and who's doing the job the best. I will say I feel like this is so Fox Solo over again because they hired Jess not because she fit in, but because she had the social media numbers. They wanted you to have an active following so they don't have to do as much press and promotion for the show. They want something for nothing. They want some shit for free. And that's why it ain't working. I feel like there are a lot of women like Lauren LaRosa out there that if they had just interviewed and, oh my God, put some money into advertising, they'd actually get something out of it. Because what they fail to realize is, and what I'm sure you know as a social media person, what I know is our audience is like us. Mm-hmm. They don't necessarily like us with everybody. Now, collabs and whatnot are cool, but they may not be like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to do this every day. It took 2 years for everybody to warm up to Chris. Oh. 2 years.
I was there from the beginning. Since the Black Panther review, I remember.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. If that was our first review, if you know, you know. And I said, this guy is hilarious. This guy is hilarious. And I was right.
You know what else it is?
What?
Social media followings are funny because people usually only like you on the platform that they found you. So if they found you on Instagram, they like you on Instagram. If they found you on YouTube, they like you on YouTube. They will not follow you somewhere else. They'll support you from Instagram, but they're not going to tune into the Breakfast Club every damn morning.
You know what? You're right.
You know better.
You're right. And it's like, whatever show you have on Instagram, however you're doing your art there, it may not be that medium. Mm-hmm. They may like your, you know, half hour, or like they may like your segmented Instagram or your long form YouTube. But then when you do something different, they're like, oh yeah, I want you to win. But that's not why I came here. I came for the sandwiches.
Oh, would you eat Just Hilarious's sandwich? The mess.
No. Oh God! Ooh, talk about a lost appetite.
Her sloppy Joe.
But I feel that also when you hire somebody that has their own audience and it's not a come up, you got to get people before they have enough of their own audience where they don't need you. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like, if they had gotten her when she maybe was like right at like 90,000 subscribers, you know, before she got to the 100 to the 250 that she got, then it would be okay. This is still a come up for me. She's not stupid. She knows like, okay, y'all need me to like, yes, this is a come up for me and it's a consistent contract check, but I can go out and do, you know, shows and still make money. I still have enough of a name that other people are interested. So you're not the only offer and you won't be the only offer.
Yeah, well, she found out she's not the only offering either. Because how do you take maternity leave and get replaced by somebody better than you? And not to that's probably cheaper too. And I like Lauren. It's not a dig, just saying. You know,
and that's the problem is this is also like the real-time viewing of the popularity hire versus the qualifications hire. Mm-hmm. And because it is a front-facing public job, popularity is a part of the qualification set. So we can't say neither, like both bring their own unique set of skills. Jess brings an audience, which asses are the name of the game in entertainment. It's how many asses can you put in the seats. However, they don't want it. They want easy asses. You easy asses come with easy reading. That's hooked on phonics. That Racka man said that dog said, go to the borough. Nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to hear that. If you invest, you can get someone that, you know, was trained in news media.
And then on top of that, Jess is also just very unlikable. She doesn't have like a great reputation. So you guys took a huge gamble on her just because you saw like a few million followers and it kind of blew up in your face. Because the fact that this is all playing out in public and not in a conference room, like, come on.
The fact that we are talking about, again, this is so Fox Soul. I'm just waiting for the video to come out of her screaming at Joyce. Remember when Al was screaming at Joyce? I can't believe you put us.
It doesn't feel good.
Oh, God.
Has anybody gotten in touch with Joyce? Because, like, she needs to be interviewed. She knows all the secrets.
Girl.
I feel like all the missing pieces are in Joyce's back pocket.
I would love to
Funky though, because he'll curse her clean out. But I still want the details. I know you're not working right now. Like, come on, do the interview.
She probably working on somebody's show.
Okay. I love to see a Black woman employed, Miss Joyce. But she seemed kind of messy from what I saw. Like, she wasn't innocent.
I feel all of them are. I also, all of these shows, y'all are making insane money for $250,000 a year. The level of shutting the fuck up and doing the job, the level of not complaining, I would do. I'll tell you what, I'd shut up for $750.
Me too.
I mean, easy.
Yeah. We work for 2 hours a day. We're not even in the same room. I can play nice on a little a webcam for 2 hours. I promise you.
I can even play nice in person. Because again, how long are they there?
You know, they bless the wrong people, Alex.
Because they don't want to invest. I feel it's truly because they don't want to invest. But speaking of blessing the wrong people, have you had a chance to catch up with Housewives of Atlanta?
I did. I finished the first episode. I'm literally 20 minutes into episode 2, but I have a gist of like what's going on. So, yeah.
So what do you think? What do you feel? 16 years. Oh my God. How old were you when this started? Have you been watching for the past 16 years?
Yeah, so I remember when the first season aired in 2008. I was 16. I was still in high school. And I vividly remember me at the lunch table with one of my best friends, Chantel. We're still besties to this day. We were at the table talking about Nene not getting into Sheree's party. And Nene said something like, Sheree thinks she all that when her gates don't even work. And that's like burned into my head. And, you know, she was the woman behind the gates, and the gates were broken the whole time. A house of lies, and it all collapsed in real time. So, yeah.
An edifice, a mold-filled edifice. I am enjoying this season of Shamia and Friends. I am hoping that we can bring back the light, fun auntie shade. And that's what I want. I don't want to see women tear each other down. I want them to make fun of clothing. I want to get to make fun of clothing. I want to make fun of flatware, of paint choices. Show me Giselle's house and just let me laugh.
Don't ever show me Giselle's house again.
If you want to lift your spirit.
It's a tear down that she keeps adding extra parts to. Like, no, don't expand the tear down. Tear it the fuck down. Can I curse here? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
tear it the F down. No, I like that these girls actually look rich this season. We're bringing wealth back to Atlanta. Okay, Shamia, who knew? Because I sure didn't. We're getting Rolls Royces on episode 1. She lives in an estate. Like, come on.
She said, I'm going to show you money. Candy, Now I know you may have, and this is so the difference between people who have money and knowing how to spend it. Because Candy has money, but can't spend it worth a damn. She always get caught at Target. That's the problem with Candy. It's like you try to take her somewhere nice, but then she stop at that damn Target Plaza and she tell you, okay, I'll get you something. So you go on with her, and then before you know it, the day's over. You went to TGI Fridays, but you were supposed to go to the city and go somewhere nice, and you just ended up at that same damn plaza spending that same damn $200.
You got to make that $200 stretch. But listen,
I mean, we do. Here's the thing: we do. She finally, she don't. And I mean, you know, like, oh, just seeing like, oh, this is 300 years old, and this marble was thrown in from Jerusalem, and this is the hair from a whale's ass. And then you look at Candy's house, and it's just like, you rinky-dink heifer. You could afford, and you got money. It ain't even like you can't. It's not like you need to save. I don't want no scrubs still making coin to this day. You still making hand over fist money. Your money long and strong. So it's not that you can't, it's that you don't have taste.
Well, you know what? I just thought of Marlo, how they thought she would be like just the savior of the show. And the thing is with Marlo, she had money at one point, and she spent it well. She got a paid off house. But you said that she had boosters, and I agree because she dresses like a booster. Boosters and scammers, they gotta wear like all their clothes all at once because they never know when the cops are going to show up. And that's what Marlo gave us basically. I'm gonna wear every bit of this Gucci today. Then when I find some left over to you, we're gonna wear all of that tomorrow. And then I'm gonna snatch the Versace off of this man. They can wear that on Thursday. And then, I might get picked up on Friday and just spend the weekend in jail, then do it all over again on Monday.
Now, I knew that Marlo had boosters because, in the words of Nene, they make it in your size when you got the coin. And I could tell her money had gotten her money got funny when she got older and she went up a size, but her clothes stayed the same size. And it's like, no, babe, you gotta graduate to the next size. You gotta graduate.
Yeah.
And
he was hanging out underneath that shirt. We can see that.
Look at a hot fool. It's making the shit look cheap. And it's like, you can't wear runway ill-fitting. Like, that's the whole point. It's supposed to lay and be perfect. You got to get it to your size. And you couldn't afford it because the boosters can't give them your size.
Right. Because it looked like you were shopping at Tags. Ain't that Nene's store, Tags? No, Nene had Swag Boutique. Candy had Tags. And then Rashida got something too.
Bags.
Okay, under her eyes.
Rashida got bags all over the world. Her husband's girl.
Rashida need to get one of those little the little eye things that the influencers are wearing. Why doesn't Rashida have a little sponsorship? She's the perfect candidate.
No, because she needs surgery. That's just lying to the people. That's false advertisement.
No, she can get a sponsorship for that too. Go promote somebody's business. Be somebody's project.
I knew she was stealing in Grease season 12 or 13. Sheree, yeah. What do we think about Porsha and her pipeline to becoming Nia?
I have a lot of questions about the marriage still, because she's saying how she didn't know he wasn't a citizen and he had all this stuff on his record. Ain't this like her second or third marriage? Like, you should know to do your research at this point.
And your first,
go ahead.
And her first husband was a.
Oh yeah.
I mean, tooting his booty up all over the world. I'll never forget when that video.
She made a good beard because, like, she was like so innocent and so airheaded. Like, you can tell her anything, and she'll just go for it. He got his best friend moving in because he's having trouble at home, so he's just going to sleep in the basement. And then Cordell sleeps down there with him too sometimes, just keep him company and be a shoulder to cry on, maybe a what to cry on to or cry in. I don't know who's doing what. And Porsha just upstairs by herself, thinking she married a good man who's a good friend. I didn't even catch the comments. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry.
Portia's trying to make herself look innocent again, and it's not working. I agree. Like, I feel like I have questions about this marriage. Like, why was it necessary? Like, you just had a kid. Why did you feel the need to run and marry this man you clearly knew nothing about? And now you are so thoroughly embarrassed.
I would have so much more respect for these people if they just said, "Listen, I'm a woman who marries up, and if you look like you can take me up, I'm marrying you." Because if Evelyn Lozada was honest, I could respect her embarrassment of a life because she kind of failed at home. And But Porsha, I feel like you have way more potential than Evelyn ever did, but you just keep making all these mistakes. These women are really cautionary tales.
I feel like Evelyn didn't necessarily fail at hoeing. Evelyn is what happens when you middle class hoe. Evelyn is when you girlfriend for your career, when you can never make that wife cut, when you're the girlfriend experience. But I will say, she said, I'm going to use this utero retirement program up until my last gasp, and ran and had that baby by Carl Crawford and keep some embryos on ice just in case. And I'm not mad at, she will pop up. If she broke at 63, she will pop that joker out somehow and get them checks. But yeah, she's definitely a lifetime of missed connection when it comes to her, making the money. But she said, I'm going to live off my back. And she did. Who really failed was her daughter, who got pregnant.
I was just going to bring her up.
Yeah, because, her daughter, one, your eyes are farther apart than Brandy's. So already you're on your back foot. But then you get pregnant by the game in your 30s. What part of the game is that? Now, he's $7 million in debt from a lawsuit, and that heifer's trying to get his house in Calabasas. Pepperidge Farm remembers. So you done got pregnant by him, and his hit-making days is behind him.
Shanice has so much more potential than that, because I feel like she could have been, like in the same realm as the Aries and the Jadas and those girls. And you had the best coach out there, your mother, just learn from her mistakes. You made worse mistakes than she did. Evelyn would never get pregnant by the game.
She wouldn't, but Evelyn couldn't teach her nothing, because Evelyn couldn't teach her how to hold on to a man.
True. At least Ev can get the baby, though, and the child support.
Ev can get a baby. Ev can keep a man. Ev can have a man put up with her. But it'll never be, he wants to be with me. She's optional.
Yeah. And then you grew up in Miami. I'm sure you know some football players. Like, come on, Shanice. You could have did better.
You know what? I feel like also because they're, this is when I feel nepotism works against you. I feel because you're the children of trollops. And, let's be honest. Let's talk about Jackie Christie's daughter. Jackie Christie's daughter got pregnant by an overseas player and is a single mother who's pulled to conceive and leave. So I feel like these young hussies were ran through early.
Maybe.
Also, look at Drea.
Well, you know what? The mothers, they really do lack self-awareness, so maybe they don't have the wherewithal to teach their daughters better.
Drea was competing with those girls, and they talked about it on the show. When Drea and your daughter are dating the same men, you need to have a talk with your daughter, because one, she never gonna beat Drea. That is stripper snatch, honey. That can be tricks on a pole. You don't know nothing about that,
right? And there's so much to say about Drea. But, she accomplishes her goals. I can't take that away from her.
Drea got that 20-something year. Drea has a man as old as her child.
He was like freshly 21 when she got pregnant by him. She knew what she was doing.
Got pregnant quick.
What was that other girl who was like messing with young basketball players? I think she's Muslim now. What was her name? That Renner or something?
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember her name.
But she fumbled it too. Like it's nothing more embarrassing than being a failed hoe. If you want to do it, you have to win. Like you have to, because you're getting talked about regardless.
That is true. A failed hoe.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what Porsha has become. A failed hoe, because you had your first beard. And then you got with Dennis, and we were kind of rooting for you, but that didn't work. And now
were we rooting for her and Dennis?
What?
Were we rooting for her and Dennis?
For a moment.
I never had high hopes. Dennis sells hot dogs, and I know what kind of lifestyle you're used to. Hot dogs are not going to provide that. Apparently, waffles provide the lifestyle, but not the hot dogs.
No, I know the money is there. I think that she thought Dennis would care more for her because she was beautiful. And Dennis is like, you are the princess of Thoughtlandia, but that means you're a dime a dozen.
And you in Atlanta too, girl. Like the ratio was just not on your side. One, you got the men who actually like women, which is like this big. And, they just have the pick of the litter. And there's plenty of beautiful women in Atlanta. So, Porsha, you got to step it up a little bit. Move to Houston. I don't know.
Maybe Houston would be interesting for her. And maybe we could start a new Real Housewives city there too. How did you feel about Housewives of Potomac?
I'm going to be honest. I kind of tuned out of Potomac a little while ago. I do hear the scuttlebutt, especially with Karen and her DUI. I feel like she handled that horribly. One, it's your fourth DUI. Two, either you or your lawyer knew that this footage was out there. Sis, you should have just took your little plea, did you some house arrest, take one of them those AA programs, get your certificate, and then just have your redemption arc on the next 2 seasons of RPOC or RHOP. I'm sorry, and do that. But no, now you're going to be in prison. So, hey. And you had the worst Housewives mugshot also. The worst by far.
It will definitely go down in history. In other Bravo news, have you ever thought about going to BravoCon?
Yeah, but I just don't think that it's worth the cost. It makes sense for you when Chris is you're kind of in the Bravo world. I just don't know if I can bring myself to spend what they want to go be in the back of a panel. I don't know. It would have to make sense for me.
It is fun. I will say I did have fun. How do I describe it? Okay, I am a little obsessed with these shows, so maybe it's more fun for me than I realized. Because I did feel like a kid in a candy store when I was in there. But then also, I got to have the moments, when I asked Kyle, why do you keep thrusting these whips? So I'm looking forward to going back for part 2. But
it's like an investment for you, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it's like
to be there.
I'm wrestling. I ended up on the Housewives of Beverly Hills as a damn plot line this season. So
a consistent plot line. You kept coming up.
For real. I'm trying to get on the show. So I guess that's a little different. What else is going on this morning?
Have you met any other YouTubers at BravoCon?
Oh, well, that's when I first met Kempire and the Brooke Ashley.
Hey, see, so again, it makes sense for you. I don't know. Maybe I'll tip one through. I don't know. I got to ask Andy Cohen about Raheem Shabazz. If he's there, I'll come.
Andy, and I mean, just looked so gleeful, just like a kid in a candy store. And it took me a minute when I looked at that picture. I was like, why is he a bartender tonight?
So for me, I was like, oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, but now a producer of, I think, Potomac has come out and he's in the adult entertainment industry. So apparently there's just this marriage of producers on Housewives and people that are in the adult industry.
That is very interesting. I mean, I guess the skills translate. You're filming a different type of content, but hey, it's all the same at the end of the day.
No, I feel like you need a little more finesse to tell a nuanced emotional story, to try to get that out of people. And maybe that's why Housewives hasn't been good, because y'all have just been hiring people that are familiar with cameras and lighting, but maybe they don't know as much about developing story and emotion.
We're going after two different types of shots, two very different moments here.
Speaking of shots, who had the hardest face to look at on Housewives of Atlanta because of the fillers? Or did you?
The one, I don't know her name. I think it's the waffle lady. She had on like really, really heavy makeup. I'm like, I don't know if she did that for the cameras or not, but it didn't look good. And I can tell she's a beautiful woman. That just,
it was too fresh. Mm-hmm. It was like raw hamburger. Like, no, cover that up. Let it settle. Oh Lord. And this is why they say less is more.
Yeah. But it was it's her first season, so I can let that slide. What I can't let slide are Cynthia's wigs. Cynthia, we've seen so much better from you. I don't know what. I feel like she got a last-minute phone call and just had to like take her wig scraps and just throw whatever she could together. Because that black one she had just sitting on her head like that, I'm like, come on, Cynthia. And like, we know you can do better than that. Like,
Cynthia has said, I am a woman of a certain age. I was a model for many years. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck anymore. I love Cynthia, but Cynthia has said, fuck free is the way to be. Since she started where she just got like 8 different kinds of the same dress. Mm-hmm. It's got the gathers here and the little split. And then she does it with her regular Cynthia wig. Yep. And then she put on and that regular Cynthia window pane part wig right this. Slap that head, call it macaroni.
Listen.
Slap right in macaroni. And she go out and she's been doing that since Nene got off the show. When Nene got off the show, she said, child, I'm not doing it no more. And then there's nothing wrong with it. Like, but you could like, it is just like you can feel I don't give a shit. I'm not putting on makeup for you people.
Mm-hmm. She is clocking in and clocking right back out. She's here for a check and that's it.
Yes. She's like, look, they just need
some of the best hair moments in Roa. So I guess we can, let her slide. But girl, we still see you. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. We still see. We just wish you could look like you cared a little more. Because it's like that's like because sometimes like, oh come on, girl.
Yeah.
You can try to look a little.
Get the little flat iron real quick and just do some. Come on. Just put that shit on her head and turn the camera on. Like, let's go. Let's get this out of the way.
Hey, chill, no, come on. Come on, let's shoot this.
But hey, she still got Lake Bailey, so she did something right.
Really? Oh God, that reminded me of reality shows that are coming up. Well, there is no more Summer's House. Did you ever watch Martha's Vineyard?
No, I saw the little cute one that you and Chris used to talk about, but that was it. I wasn't about to go tune into that.
Yeah, nobody else did either. Yeah. I watched the White People Summer. I was watching the White People Summer House. They kind of okay. Oh God, I'm finally going to see Wicked.
I haven't seen it yet either. I've heard great things about it. The thing is, I want to see the play before I see the movie. I don't like seeing a movie before the play. I don't know. I need to see like the original medium first. So
now, are you for real? Are you really for real?
Me?
You've lived in New York how long?
I've seen a lot of plays. I never got around to Wicked.
You don't.
I know. And it's like still playing. I can get like a little matinee.
I was gonna say, I'm like, if you want to go see it, you can go see it.
Yeah.
At the Roundabout Theater on 56th Street.
I'm gonna make it a point to go see that actually.
I I have always grown up around it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was like on tape when I was growing up and my cousin used to watch it. So I remember it being there. But I have never seen it in its entirety. So I'm going to watch and review it since it's coming on Peacock.
Okay. Oh, it's coming on Peacock?
Yep.
Oh, even better. Okay. I don't got to leave the house.
Exactly. I'm like, I have been to a Broadway theater. I'm too tall for a Broadway theater.
I also don't really care to go to the movies these days because, like, with what they're charging, you might as well go get like an iPick or like one of the little dine-in movies or something and just make it an experience. I'm not going to just sit in a regular movie theater for $40. Like, no.
$40. See, I've been out of New York too long.
Mm.
A movie here. Then again, I haven't been to a movie here in 2 years. That's probably $25.
Oh, you in San Francisco? That's just as expensive.
Yeah, it's bad here. Yeah, it's bad here.
I do need to go visit though.
No, you ain't missing.
I mean, I know they're going through some things up in that area, but
yeah, we on the back foot right now.
Okay. Well, I'll send some thoughts and prayers then. Well, no, not with this administration. You're going to need more than that, child.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I'll try it maybe 2028, 2029.
Megan Good has tied the knot.
You know, she never struck me as a very intelligent person. Like, ever. With a lot of these people, they're like, they're pretty to look at, but then there's just nothing else. And like after a certain age, you got to be more than a pretty face. Like, Megan, what's going on with you? I know she's not working. What's like the last job she's had?
She just finished that show on Amazon Harlem.
Okay, well, good for her.
But that did just end.
I feel like Tyler Perry could work a miracle with Megan Good. He got the perfect role for her. Just sitting on ice. All she got to do is just call him up.
She was just in one of his movies recently.
Was she like a leading role?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Well, maybe. Okay, well, girl, that means you're just not on my radar, Miss Megan. I'm sorry. That's probably why you married that man, because that's how I know you all of a sudden.
I mean, it's definitely gotten both of them a lot of press.
Yeah. And now, isn't he like working with the Zeus Network now or something? They're like doing.
I think they bought his film for distribution that was supposed to be Oscar bait, but then, you know, all the drama happened and now it's on Zeus. Zeus.
You went from Marvel to Zeus. A $5 subscription.
A lot of people are paying that $5.
They're paying that $5 to see the baddies, not to see him. I don't think that they are his audience. Okay,
I guess they're going to become.
Okay. Unless he's going to be fighting on camera, I don't know.
It is the
last thing he should be doing is fighting on camera with his charges. Zeus, that was a bad deal. He just needed the money clearly, because I do hear they pay well. But all money ain't good money.
I don't know. I would do a show on Zeus if the check was right.
I don't trust nothing about them. I just don't think Lemmy is going to do right by me. I don't want Natalie and her claws in my business. Put the chin over there. No, I'm going to
her claws. Not Natalie and her claws.
And her chin is one of her claws. That's like her main claw.
Her chin is prehensile.
Mm-mm. Like she can really like just stab you with the chin.
I feel like her chin has like suction cups, like an octopus, and it just kind of like grabs you, like it just goes.
I feel like she needs like a sheath for it, like a sword for everyone's protection. She shouldn't be allowed to walk around with that chin just flying around everywhere.
And you know, Ashley shouldn't be allowed to walk around with her forehead just bopping everywhere.
Well, isn't she divorced now too?
Finally, she is finally divorced, although she kept that man's name. And she's sad because Who is she going to be a bed wench for now?
I don't know. Hopefully, well, did she sound like a prenup? She probably did, didn't she?
Yeah, well, no, she signed a post-nup where she ended up getting screwed.
You know what? This is like what they don't tell you.
How do you have a forehead that big, but you that stupid?
You know what? It's not that she's that stupid. It's that Michael is that smart. Because this is what they don't tell you about being a sugar baby. With like these old rich men, you are not the first person to try to run their pockets. Okay, they know what you are, and sometimes they're willing participants. But just know that they have all the power and the control in this situation, and they will snatch the rug from up underneath you when they get ready. So that's why you got to do what Shawnee O'Neal did and go hide some of that money, send it to your mama's account, like do what you have to do. Ashley's mother was living in a tent under the highway or something. She did it all wrong.
Georgia tent and awning. Well, because Ashley's mama wanted to have a man up in there, and Michael was like, I'll pay for the mama to live, but I ain't gonna pay for no man to live.
And I'm not mad at that.
I'm not either. I would have also taken them down to Georgia tent and awning.
And let's address the elephant in the room. Her mom was on drugs. Why else are you living in a tent with another man? Like, what do y'all have in common? An addiction. And that's why Michael didn't want to give her no money. We don't give addicts cash, ever. You give them resources. Do not give them cash.
I have to show a picture that comes to mind.
Please do.
Oh my God. I just have to show this picture before I say anything. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Please tell me I have this picture. I never thought about that. It makes all the sense in the world.
It was plain as day to me. Like, what? No. I wonder if she's still with that man.
Probably.
Yeah, crackhead couples don't break up.
They really don't.
The only thing stronger than their love is the crack.
Where did it go?
They said we need to log off.
I just have to, I'm so mad. There's a picture.
I'm like low-key nervous to see this picture. Like, what are you looking for?
It's a picture of Ashley's mom.
Oh.
And it's just after you described her, I was just like, oh my God.
She does have that look. See, now I'm looking at her like these wigs. Those wigs tell a story.
Hold on, let's just Google her. Ashley Darby mom.
Oh, look at her in the kitchen right here. Let me get over the site. Oh, how do you feel about Nene and Sierra's podcast imploding?
Oh, well, I'm not surprised.
I'm not either, because how do y'all even know each other?
I didn't think that was how you should bring those two worlds together. I thought that we could have done a little bit. I thought we could have done a little better, but when Nene was like, "Oh, you want me to film on Love and Hip Hop?" Like, she was too good for it. I cannot find this damn picture. It's killing me. Nene wanted to act like she was too good to be on Love and Hip Hop, and it's like, you've been off your show for so long now, you can no longer pretend to be high and mighty. Like, yes, you were that girl and you have added to the reality TV field, but it's also like it's what have you done for me lately?
Yeah. I feel like what Nene needs to do is like kind of let reality TV go and like really tap into building her own platform. Because if she's like consistent with like doing her own thing, be it a podcast or a talk show, I think people will tune in. If she like has like the right guests around the right age range, like Nene and Vivica A. Fox, Nene and Lisa Ray, I don't know. I feel like there's a lane for her that could really work.
I would say that I think she needs to get out of Atlanta for that.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Hollywood, work with some of Cynthia's working with one of them white production companies. They got her working with Crystal, and the podcast works because it's something in the Housewives vein, but just different enough. Yeah. I feel like you got to get out of that Atlanta rehash reality world that we've seen for the past 20 years now.
Yeah. I think that we've like really wrung Atlanta dry. We've gotten everything we can get out of Atlanta. In Atlanta, that tree produced some great fruit. The peaches were ripe. But now we want something different, Mitch. We want some mangoes and pineapples now. We got to figure something out.
We don't have any more housewives. We had housewives in New York, but I meant like reality shows in New York. Like we used to have a couple, and now we don't even have a Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
But is it...
Go ahead.
Is it because it's gotten too expensive?
Yes. And I think like people are just too self-aware now. Like reality works best when the cast are like train wrecks with like zero self-awareness. You got to be like kind of delusional. But like now, like nobody wants to look bad on TV. It's like they're super produced and it's just boring and contrived. So I think it's run its course. And then people with like real money, they're not going on fucking TV. So it's like you either want to get some poor people on Zeus who will fight for a living, or get like the perfectly curated, like what the New York rehash. The remake was, that was horrible to me because it was just too produced. Like you guys aren't TV friendly. We need some Jersey mess.
No one can love in hip hop. No one in Love and Hip Hop actually lived in the city. That's true. Oh my God.
We're all live in Jersey.
Oh my God. I remember I was doing real estate in New York, and we rented an apartment to Azalea Banks' cousins, but she paid for it.
Okay.
And that was
money to pay her cousin's rent.
She paid for the year in advance.
Oh, this was like what? 2010, 2011.
This is when like maybe a year or two after 212 came out.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got a call from one of the spouses from one of them on Love and Hip Hop, and she wanted us to get her an apartment on the low. On the low.
Can you elaborate? What does that mean?
We kept asking her, and she just said, on the low, because I'm on the show. And I was like, and they asked me because they're like, do you know this show? Because they knew I review TV shows. And I was like, yeah, I was like, she ain't making no money. Don't waste your time.
They getting paid in gift cards.
I was like, now maybe if it was like Yandy or somebody that had been on for a couple of seasons, but this girl was an extra and looked like a parrot. Oh Lord.
Like a parrot. This was New York?
Yes.
What was like her storyline?
God, she really was on like 5 episodes. She was just one of the floozies. Mm-hmm. Like one of the older white-looking floozies.
Was she married to that guy Consequence, I think?
I was just about to say, I think so.
The guy with the teeth. I remember him.
Ooh, Lord. Yeah, them people living way up in Bronxville and Westchester. And I mean, I know because I lived on City Island.
I remember one scene they had Yandy in her office. I don't know why she would need an office. And she's on the phone having business calls and the phone wasn't even plugged in. I'm like, Mona, stop playing with me. This unfurnished office, there's no pictures, nothing in that room, just a desk and a chair and an unplugged phone. Girl. And she's making $1 million deals in here. Yeah, right.
Carlos King loves an unfurnished office and an unplugged in phone.
You know what? It's probably just a cheap place to film in. Just office for $250 and go knock that scene out.
I mean, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with finding a cheap place to film. Hell, here's what I want you to do. Rent the office for the fucking month, but then rent the office next to it and put a bunch of props in there so every time you go into that office, it looks like a different fucking place.
Listen, you can go to the Marshall's home department, find you a whole bunch of little knickknacks and tchotchkes to put up. You can swap some stuff out. It could be the same office and we wouldn't know because you keep redecorating it. And then just return the stuff when you finished.
Exactly. A little effort goes a long way. Well, oh my God.
Need to produce a reality show?
We may have to. Well, it has almost been an hour and I'm sure you have other things to do. So let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me everywhere at Tyreak Told You, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I have a podcast, but I took a little break. I'm going to come back soon. But thank you again, Alex, for letting me come up here with you. I've been watching you for years, years and years and years. So,
well, thank you so much for joining me. This has been an absolute blast. And everybody, we will see y'all soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And email Rodgers Ringtones for a unique and sassy ringtone. Email me the script that you would like, and for $5, the ringtone is yours. Tell a kin, tell a friend, tell that heifer you hate.